Hi, ladies. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. Happy new month that's about to start, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The last day of October. So, no, Claudia is on. Welcome, Veda. Claudia, I think Claudia's been having too much fun this week that she lost her voice. So she will come tell us, what thing she did during the week, because usually when we're talking about the week, she can make it sound like it's so, I just went out to eat and then I just went you did something this weekend. This past weekend.
I just had an allergic reaction.
Yeah, you ma.
I had allergic reaction.
I think you're on mute.
Nuts. I ate nuts.
Oh.
The party people.
Wow.
Party
you have a nut allergy. Wow.
Yeah.
My man.
All right.
I've been eating it ever since. I mean, I guess sometimes they just try to remind me that I'm still allergic. Yeah. I still eat my crappy soup.
Chugging Benadryl, eh? Y'all got Benadryl on that side?
That's the bad thing. I can't take meds that have steroids in them. So.
Oh.
Benadryl has steroids in it?
Most antibiotics,
antihistamine or whatever, the blockers.
Yeah.
See, some of those poppy.
We've always known she had special qualities. Now it's just, she reinforcing, letting us know,
Yeah, I'm special.
Look, well, ladies, welcome to the show, Veda. It's good to see you also, Claudia. I didn't get to see you guys last week, so it's good to see you. Again, today is Sunday, October 31st, the last day in the month of October, which feels like this year kind of just ran by. I don't know. It just seemed like it's going very fast. But nevertheless, want to check in and see how everybody week was. I see Robina is on saying break a leg. We miss you, Bina. Better go back to work. That's Martha Clark saying hi, ladies. Hi. So we'll kind of make sure more people come on, leave messages. If you have a question, go ahead and put it in the chat room right now. We're not sophisticated yet for people to be calling in. Got some of the questions. The one who don't be in the comment, they can be watching, but they're trying to hide, they won't call. You want to see your face first before you can call. So yeah, we haven't gotten there yet, but we'll get there. Very excited. Of course, the show is being recorded. So once we're done, we'll always post this on the Facebook page as well as the YouTube channel. And I always encourage people to go and watch it after we do it, because I do that a lot. After we record the show, I usually sit down, just kind of go over it and watch it. But super excited to have you join us today, Veda. We're going to be talking about your company, the work that you do. When we talk about women in business and leadership, you're definitely, Robina's coming. You're definitely one of those people who, one of those women who is all about business and of course, women in leadership. So, I can't wait to chat with you. Okay, the other one she laid that one, Robina will excuse because I know that Charlene was trying to use that cable. What is it? The internet is going to be down in Liberia from 9 p.m.
Orange.
Also, it's just orange.
It's just orange. I'm
orange
really
is not
shocked.
the only one using the fiber, so I don't understand how that is happening.
Yeah, that should be like an impromptu topic as far as I'm concerned. But
yeah. Hi, Pina.
Hi. I just want to say hi. I gotta go, but I miss you all.
The people drop. Yeah. Speaking of
let them fire you.
The other drop. Yeah, we got money.
So I'll just try to come in and just chime in and say hi. I'll be watching from the back and I'll watch when I get home. Love you all. Thank you for all your support. Hi, Veda.
Hey, I like that little orange in the background. I like the accent wall.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, so I'll talk to you guys later.
All
Break
right,
a leg and a thumb. Woo
Alrighty.
Halloween.
so yeah, so I mean, again, you know, we kind of rolling out this month. How was the week for everybody? Miss Claudia, we see that you look like you had a really good time. Very good. That you lost your
Okay.
voice and all.
I had a photo session with Dorcas.
Wow.
I have no
So
words.
they had this Jurassic Park recreation at one of the botanical gardens, and I took her. I think it's an American company that's stored in UK. So we went to see the fake dinosaurs, and she said she wasn't scary.
Aw.
It wasn't scary. They are all rubber.
Mm,
Can't
Smart.
fool it, yeah.
very smart. Very smart.
They have rides and stuff.
Yeah, some of them, but they were not mobile. They swing like rides.
Mm.
And they have all these screeching sounds and the animated sounds. But they
Is that
don't have the history of the different animals. And the funny thing, I saw one called Shintaosaurus, and I knew exactly where it came from before I even read the label.
So that the Chinese dinosaurs. Oh man.
I said, this one, I know it already. I ain't need to
Big
read
cow.
anything about it. I know it from China. Without me.
You know, the dinosaurs didn't live in Africa. We got one that named Musaraurus. Capernaurus. Yeah. So the dinosaurs thing, yeah, it wasn't in the in Africa.
I didn't see anything close to Africa though.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting. But Claudia, is that where you took that picture with all the fall, the leaves and all of that?
Yeah, okay. So that place, so Birmingham is a green city and they do a lot of preservation for the environment. So where they had the dinosaur park is actually a botanical garden. An accumulation of rare plants from all over the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the foliage
Plants and
was
birds.
the
So
fall
they do
foliage
have a
was
couple of
pretty.
extinct species of birds and plants. Yeah. Most of them from Africa anyway.
Okay, so the plants from Africa and then the birds and the plants from
Most
Africa.
of the birds too,
The
yeah.
dinosaurs, they ain't come to Africa.
No.
Okay. Stephanie, before your internet starts.
Pretty choppy, so like each word that's being said, I'm hearing one, then I miss one, then I get another one. So
Oh.
yeah, I'm here.
Uh-oh.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Yeah.
You look gorgeous.
Yeah.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank you.
So how did you spend your week? Did anything special happen?
You know,
It's happening.
Damn it. Now, one of the things we'll talk about,
It's breaking up, right?
business. Yeah, when we're doing business in Liberia. A part of the challenges. So
It is.
but so yeah, well, Veda, you want to tell us about your week?
Sure. I started out the week in Charlene's neck of the woods. We were at AMEU. That was exciting. Yeah. I had the pleasure and the honor of being invited by the Alpha Brothers, Alpha Phi Alpha, to participate in their panel for sort of, talking to the students about jobs, prospects, entrepreneurship. They had two panels, one for civil service and nonprofits, and then they had one for, businesses, like the business panel. So I was on the business panel with Lavetta Sandola was the other businesswoman, and she's like businesswoman extraordinaire. She got the
everything,
Providence TV, the flower pot, the other consultancies. So it was It was actually very, very exciting. I sat next to Lester Clement, who owns the Calabash, that
Oh
one
my
of the
God, he
biggest.
is. Yeah.
What I didn't know, and I learned so much on the panel, what I didn't know that Calabash is the largest open air restaurant in the country.
I can see that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Also,
Beautiful, beautiful place. Great manager.
Oh.
You know, yeah, I've seen his managerial style. Excellent. Really cool guy.
He talked about customer service, about training his people. And what was really interesting to me was that he said it's not just how they treat the clients, it's how they treat each other. He said, how do you treat your internal customer? He says, if your staff isn't in sync with, if they're not in sync with each other, how are they going to be able to welcome the customer? So yeah, a lot of learning. Yokwe was also on the panel, and on the business panel. Oh, ponies. He really brought it. Did you know that he's an alum? He and Yokwe graduated from AMEU.
No,
did you know that?
I didn't know that. What's Charlene?
I know.
So yeah, I was like, and so I mean, that was actually encouraging and inspirational to the students to know that look where you can be in a few years if you just do what you're supposed to do, you know. Ponies is, I mean, he just brought it home in terms of business and what they can do. So that was exciting. And then wrapped up the week with the breast cancer walk.
Yes.
Charlene's so quiet. She was on the walk for one while. We took a picture together and everything.
I'm so proud of her because I feel like she represented me as well.
So we walked. She walked from Musu Spot to SKD. I'm a member of Liberian Cancer Society, and Liberian Cancer Society supported LCRI. We always do every year.
Yeah.
And so the cancer community, you know, the cancer fighting community came together and led by LCRI, and that was really, it was a lot of fun. Oh, Mr. Cummings and Mrs. Cummings were there, which was a pleasant surprise, you know, to see, you know, politicians who are trying to, you know, be down to earth kind of thing. Colasco.
It was so funny. One of the pictures that I saw that I liked. Yeah, you know, the Colasco and Mr. Cummings, you know, just together. I know I've seen from last year, Colasco was also there as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but there were a couple of people, you know, trying to make this very political. I'm like, you know what? Like very political, but
not everything gotta be. Yeah, you're fighting cancer. You know, let all come together to fight cancer. Let lead the politics for a little bit. So it was that was interesting. And yesterday afternoon, I posted on my Instagram because I'm wrapping up with this because I'm just really excited about it. I know it may seem like a small thing, but Gingeranana is on the menu at Libasa. I don't know if I shouted it out.
Yeah. I always thought it was there.
It's there, but it wasn't on the menu.
Oh, okay.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Gingeranana, we're at Calabash, we're at a lot of places, but I have to give props to the folks, to Lisa Antun. She told me she was going to do it, and it looks like, I just popped in yesterday. It was just after. Oh, Naomi Shalenka had opened up her new clinic, so I stopped by Marshall to sort of support. You know, she's in the nonprofit field, but now she's in business because with the clinic you got to make money to survive. And props to Naomi. But so we just went over to Libasa to just chill out. And I of course I ordered Gingeranana. And and I was like, well, bring the menu. Let me see what else you got. I open it up, and Gingeranana is literally on the menu. Oh my God, I was so excited.
Well, congratulations. I know, number one, you're a very hard worker. And when I say hard worker, it's not just focusing on the production, but also the marketing aspect of it. That's one of my biggest pet peeves in Liberia. When I see such great products people have, but they're not really marketing it. They're just depending on us or some of their friends and family to buy all the time. So, but I see that you work very hard to push your product.
Thank you.
So yeah, I can't wait for us. We'll talk about more of Gingeranana and the company in the next hour. Alrighty. But there's Liberia News scene was very hot this week. Um, very, very hot. Yeah, as usual, hot-headed weather. So of course you have one of the EJS, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, celebrated her 83rd birthday. And usually she's at her house and people just kind of stop by, wish her happy birthday. She got food, drinks, and that's it. And I know since I've been in Liberia, this is something that she's been doing. So there was a lot of political actors passing through. Of course, some of it was kind of made its round through social media. For those of you who have not watched this show before, what we do, we look at the news that's happening in the Liberian community, whether it's in Liberia or in the diaspora, and we just talk about some of the hot topics that are trending. That's all. We just have an opinion of it. But before I even get into that, I want to say, Barney Keller, hi. Fred Cully, hi. Omega Brown, hi. And I realized that we do have people who watch. It may not necessarily show on the chat group. So they will inbox, privately and ask questions. So you're free to ask questions once we get into the interview with Veda. But if you have an opinion about a hot topic, definitely put it in the chat group, and either Claudia or Charlene will read it out to you, for everybody. So yeah, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf celebrated her 83rd birthday. And then of course, as you mentioned, we had the cancer walk, which was really good. The biggest talk around it was the fact that I think there was like 3 or 4 other cancer events for breast cancer this year. Well, it looked like it didn't take away, it's crazy, but it looked like it didn't take away any of the audience or the supporters for the annual walk, because I know there's a lot of people who are involved in this walk, but of course, 2 people who usually stand out is Christine Brooks Jarrett, and of course, Mariah Weymouth. Mariah Kula. So those are the 2, and I know Mariah has a very personal story as to why she even started this why she was part of the people who started. So that was the one that I'm familiar with, I've seen in the past couple of years. So when 2 or 3 additional pop up, they were like, okay. I tend to want to get excited because I'm like, all right, well, then maybe there's more people talking about breast cancer. But at the same time, there were people who were like, was it really necessary? Why they couldn't collaborate?
I think, we need to just get away from trying to seek glory in everything we do in Liberia. Yes, it's about seeking glory. The essence of this breast cancer awareness for the last, 4 years, I think, the last 4 years has been to spread the word, raise funds, and help those who are newly diagnosed to get appropriate treatment, or at least get diagnosed early enough so that you will be able to, manage your life situation. And everything is happening in the same week. Okay, the whole month of October is breast cancer awareness month. If for any reason you really want to be special, take some other part of the month. This has been happening out of courtesy. That's what, good people would do.
Yeah.
You cannot use the same week that an institute who has been doing this for the last 4 years and has been doing a marvelous job to try to, insinuate that there is a competition. There is, and there will never be a competition when it comes to health.
No.
It will never be. They could all have, joined hands and have the indoor ceremony at the Ministry of Health or with the Gender Ministry. I think they were the head of the government cancer awareness program. And then Saturday, everybody have the march as one country.
Yeah.
It would have even been better if they would have, spread the word to the different counties and be like, okay, on Saturday, we are having a cancer and breast cancer awareness march in Monrovia, but all the other counties can decide to do the march too on this Saturday and create, a chain But I don't know where all this competition is coming from. It's really unnecessary. Hopefully, next year, hopefully, if we got good people with plenty sense, they will try to make one event.
So can I say something real quickly about that? I know, I just wanted to share that I know that Christine went to the one that the ministry, I think gender ministry had, and I believe she attended that. And I agree with you, Claudia. Hopefully next year they can be more of a concerted effort, gender ministry, Ministry of Health, LCRI, and just, be more of a coordination of coming together. So hopefully that will happen. But yeah, we're better together than in many pieces. So let's hope that happens. But just one of those things. But the walk was good. The walk was good. Master Queen was the mistress of ceremonies. When we got to SKD, there was working out, of course, Gingeranana was in the house. Gingeranana was a good. It was good for a worthy cause. And I think they raised a lot of money. I know IRC, they had a lot of big donors this year. So I'm sure they raised some good money this year.
Yeah, well, again, hopefully next year will be a little different. We'll find in our hearts to collaborate. Again, and the next topic that's been sort of trending, we talk about the dual citizenship issue, the topic for Liberians who may have gotten an additional passport outside of an additional passport from another country. And the interview, if I should say so myself, was actually a very educational interview with Counselor Seward Cooper. I see Counselor Cooper as one of the most brilliant lawyers. I think he's one of the most brilliant lawyers that I've come across. And Liberia really has some really good lawyers, by the way. But and not only was he a part of this case that Mr. Jallo that sued the government and won the case in the Supreme Court, which pretty much says that once a Liberian is always a Liberian. If you're going to take away a Liberian citizenship, you have to go through due process. So therefore, when we ask for passport, you gotta give it to us. Unless somebody took us to court, they went to court and it declared that we were not entitled to that passport. That's the only way. Now, the decision came in, 2018, Christmas, and nothing has really been done. So this year, September, Councillor Musa Dean, who was also one of the lawyers for Mr. Jallo that sued the government and won in the Supreme Court, he actually wrote a letter, following, of course, just wrote a letter to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs citing the ruling of the Supreme Court. And what all of this means is that when we go to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the people are supposed to get a passport, unless they have some kind of court, something from the court that states that your nationality, your citizenship was taken away from you. Letter goes out, and a lot of people rejoicing, a lot of Liberians in the diaspora. And then I heard that there were still conversations happening, like, oh no, you still can't have dual citizenship. And my thing about this, when I hear Liberians talking about it, I'm like, the very country that was created, this constitution that was created to protect people of Negro descent. That's why that specific clause is in that thing, that if you are Black, this is the one place you should never have to question if it's your home or not. That is seeing people that giving their people hard time about keeping citizenship. Correct. Are we all right? I don't understand. I mean, are we okay? I'm sorry, ladies. Charlene is saying that her internet is horrible. She probably have to log off. No, my mama. Yeah.
Amen.
Come on.
Amen. Charlene, man.
That's saying.
No, you sound like an alien. So if you have the logo, that's fine. We understand. I did put a information in there regarding the internet in Liberia, what's happening with Orange. So yeah, but yeah, go ahead regarding this dual citizenship and the fact that it's Liberians who are giving Liberians a hard time.
I listened to a conversation, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, with some other Facebook presenter and the former Supreme Court Justice, is that Abina Jane?
Yes.
And his take on the letter that was sent from the Ministry of Justice was completely different. He argued that the letter was only concerned about the first part of the act and not the whole part that talked about the dual citizenship as a whole. So people shouldn't be too excited about them retaining the dual citizenship. So it just left a lot of questions on what is going on, because there was a case on one side, and then someone's coming from who was a member of the highest interpreter group in the country is on a platform and is saying something completely different.
Yeah. And here's my problem with that. The letter or the ruling pretty much in a nutshell tells us that what is in the act is in violation of the Constitution. So isn't the Constitution higher than the act? So whatever is in the act, it's unconstitutional. The Constitution supersedes whatever is in the act. So what is the problem? And the people are not saying so much. They're not saying anything about dual citizenship per se. They're saying that the reason why it's in conflict with the Constitution, the Constitution itself doesn't only talks about dual citizenship in one instance. It only addresses dual citizenship in one instance. And that's if your mother or father, you're born of the father or the mother, one parent is a foreign national. Now, so that the only time the Constitution says something. And listening to Councillor Cooper, he explained that a lot of things is you have to understand the intent of even creating a document. And that's how they built their case, based on the intent. So when you go back to the whole Constitution change, they actually wanted to remove the fact that if you are a Liberian who obtain an additional passport in another country, then you will automatically lose your citizenship. They wanted to change the Constitution to that. The Constitution Review Committee at the time, 1985, they decided, no, we don't want that in there. So they took it out.
So can I just come in here?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. So really what we need to determine is who is the final arbiter. If it's not
in the Supreme Court.
If it's not, yeah. So if it's not the Supreme Court, then who or what is the legislative branch now saying that we must have this referendum? I mean, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that in light of everything, the bicentennial, we want, people to come back to Liberia in, Christmas time, holidays, we want their money, but we don't want them. We, as a nation, we need to take a stand, and it needs to be done at a significant level, because if we are challenging what the Supreme Court has come down with, then, then, I mean, where are we? We need to take a stand, and there really shouldn't be. I mean, if we have conflict between a senator or representative, what's happening at the Supreme Court? Is it an issue with the executive? I mean,
and again, you know,
Where
when
are
the
we?
ruling was passed, I know he has stated before, this was what was supposed, this what Musa Dean did, Councillor Dean did, writing that letter. That letter is like way overdue. That letter should have been written a long time ago. And all it's saying, if you want to take somebody's citizenship away, number one, you have to go through due process. You got to prove that, yeah, they obtained their citizenship illegally. You have to prove it. You can't just decide when I go get my passport to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or the fact that you think I have another passport, so therefore you don't give me one.
So the executive and the judicial branches are in sync. That's what it sounds like to me.
It seems like everybody's in sync. It's just now their opinions are. They're jumping. I got it. Where in the?
But he's not on the court anymore. He's no longer.
The same one that suing somebody ago.
He's no longer. The bottom line is he is no longer a member of the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia.
Now my
So
question
his
is, you know,
opinion-
some person.
At this point,
Yes,
his opinion
he's the
is an
same
opinion of
person.
a private citizen. I don't think it carries legal weight in reference to what is going on. I mean, I appreciate it, and it's probably informed, but I think if we're talking about what's happening in our country, we need to go according to the existing current officials.
I think
I
Fred is
think
asking.
he was speaking in his capacity as a lawyer and what the interpretation is as a lawyer. But that still defeats the purpose, because he was giving points that were contrary to what is being discussed now. Right now, everybody is discussing how Liberian are you if you did not willingly give away your citizenship, or if your parents, due to circumstances, you were able to obtain another citizenship. That's because of the bicentennial program. That's because of all the wars we've had, and people have basically built their lives in different continents, and they have had kids that are almost adults, or adults now in different continents, and they all want to visit home. And the letter was addressing the hindrances that occur when you try to get your visa, when you try to get your Liberian passport. But his stance was completely different. He was saying that all of that is irrelevant because the letter is not addressing the whole point. And that's about, I think it is 3 subs in that point 22, A, B, C, and D. And that's all he was.
But here's the thing. Yeah, the reason.
Also.
But Clyde, the reason why the letter is addressing that, because that's what the lawsuit was based on.
Exactly.
The guy didn't sue for dual citizenship for him, because again, the Constitution does not address, the Constitution only addressed dual citizenship under one instance. He didn't fall into that. So as far as he was concerned, that he's a Liberian, he needs to go get a passport. I don't know if I'm making sense. He didn't go because he felt like because of dual citizenship. That's why he even went, and that's why he told them, yes, I have another passport, because we know that the actual Constitution only talk about dual citizenship based on if your mom, one of your parents, I think your mother, your mother or your father is a foreign national, then you must decide. That's what it addressed. He didn't fall into that category. So he went for his passport, and that's what the Supreme Court ruled on. So the letter is just based on those articles that he filed. Now, the other issue, my frustration is seeing Liberians questioning another Liberian as to if they should still hold a Liberian passport. It's like, we don't want to understand the Constitution. We just don't want, we want what we want. And that is, we want to decide who is a Liberian or not, who is more Liberian or not. which is very disturbing to me, saying that this particular constitution, the intent of the constitution, the intent of why that clause was even put in there was to protect Black people. And then we, the Black people, that deciding the only Black country that say Black people must be citizen, we don't want deciding, Black people can become citizen, but now you're Liberians that left.
But Salamartu, the other issue here is we are talking about a country of what, less than 5 million people. You can drive for hours and not see one human being. And you understand what I'm saying? You can drive for hours, going to Ganta, going to Banga, you don't see a human being. Do we not understand that the word nation means people? There is strength in numbers. We have our Liberians who have gone abroad, who have acquired knowledge, expertise, what they can bring back to this nation. Other countries understand this. Israel understands this. Ghana understands this. I don't understand why we Liberians are like crabs in a barrel, that we don't understand that unity. There is strength in unity. There is strength in numbers. Okay, we should not be standing trying to block other Liberians from coming into the country. We should be standing with open arms, welcoming them, smiling, telling them, please come home. And there would be bad apples. There are some bad apples. In any barrel, there will be bad apples. But the overwhelming majority of Liberians who are coming, there's a wealth of expertise that we can be benefiting from right now. And we're just standing in the way, and we wonder why they
we know we never see it that way. Sadly, someone is asking if they still need visa to go to Liberia.
If you use another passport,
if you have a Liberian passport, you technically don't need a visa to go. What people do is to exit. If you are exiting a country, you use that country passport, and when you are entering Liberia, you use the Liberian passport. That's simple.
We need to create a welcoming environment for Liberians who are overseas who want to come back. Now, here we are talking about the year of the return. We want not only Liberians to come, we want Africans in the diaspora to come to Liberia, Africans, African Americans. We're saying come to Liberia. And it's a contradiction. Do we really want, are we really?
We don't.
We can't have it both ways. You can't say no, we stand and be nitpicking, but yet and still want people to come, because we need them to come and spend their money in this country. As a business owner, that's just
well, I would say this, this will continue to happen until people start taking a stand, and taking a stand means that you start challenging the government constructively, meaning you sue, you take them to task. It's not going to stop. The executive has already done what they're mandated to do. They're not the ones supposed to be going back to the legislature and fighting it. They've done
to their credit. To their credit, they wrote the letter.
They wrote a letter. Now they need to implement it. If they don't implement it, then it's up to the same citizens to challenge the government constructively in making sure that, So, but nevertheless, I think the next topic before we jump into the interview, excuse me. President Charles Taylor sued the Liberian government for his pension. What's he laughing at?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
He sued him. He said, they haven't been paying him in pension, so he sued him. Everybody has, I'm sure, has legal grounds to sue. Is he really entitled to the pension?
Yes, he is.
Did he retire?
Honorably?
He did. He's entitled to the pension. He has passed the legal working age, according to our NASCO, according to our Social Security policy. And he was a government official, and he resigned from the presidency. So they didn't fire him, he resigned.
They can fire him.
So
He is entitled to his benefits.
so
I'm actually happy that he sued though, because people don't know the laws of Liberia, and people don't use the laws of Liberia.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people are owed by the government, especially civil servants. It's really crazy. My grandma worked as a teacher for the civil service for her whole life.
Mm.
She was a teacher, and it took a long time for her to get rich. Even my grandpa, he was also a teacher. For them to get their pension and their benefits, it was a whole rigmarole. The papa had to come in from Sino and practically go to the Ministry of Education there for days to process that. It's really annoying to know that you have sacrificed your whole life to work for a country to make it better. And then at the end of the day, when you have retired, in the deplorable state the country is in, you cannot even have the little support that you're supposed to get. Even if it is small, it should be registered and you should have it on time. So I'm really happy.
But you know,
see what happened with this case too.
I think a lot of people are looking at his tenure as president, and we're forgetting that even if we decided that no, okay, for the whatever years he was president, we can argue about that one, but he did work in government. He was at GSA at one point, right? So he did work.
So can I just, when I read through what I've seen, I think the operational word that we will need to determine and deal with is honorably.
But does the law say that if
honorably, that you retired honorably?
That what the law said? That the only way you can get your pension?
Yeah, well, the snippet that I read, it said honorably. So
what is the definition of honorably?
Exactly. So there is one side that argues that. Let me finish now. Let me finish. Let me land.
I come talk for Taylor.
Yeah, let me
land. If Mr. Taylor had not voluntarily left this country, we don't know what would have happened in the middle of the war. The war was raging. Okay?
Wait.
Let me finish. Finish. Okay, and that's I'm just stating that's the argument. The argument is made that if Mr. Taylor had not voluntarily said, okay, you know what, I will leave and go to Calabar, we don't know what would have happened. Certainly the war would not have ended the way it ended, as abruptly as it did. What happened after Calabar, we will talk about later. Okay, then there are some people are saying that, okay, yeah, he was president, but the people were forced to vote for him. Look what he did before he became president, and now look where he is now. So as I said before, that word honorably is going to have to really be scrutinized and determined as to whether this government or the Liberian nation believes that he did indeed leave honorably. Because if he did, then he's definitely entitled to the pension. Okay. And remember, it's not just him. If he gets the pension when he dies, his wife is also entitled.
Yes.
And this is a wife who was not first lady. He married a wife after the woman who was first lady when he was president, they broke up. This woman was not first lady of our nation. It just happened to be a wife. So all of those need to be.
Veda, one, the fact that he married somebody else who was not a first lady has nothing to do with his pension. His pension goes to his spouse. Whoever his spouse is, that's it, right? That's one. Number two, if he voluntarily resigned, that's honorable. What are they talking in the background? They squeeze their hand to do it. If you left voluntarily and say, you know what, I'm going to leave.
I'm going.
That's honorable. Yeah. 2, 3, we did not punish the man.
True.
We didn't. That means we ain't have problem with what he did. So there's one thing for us to be in our homes and say, you know what, he caused the war, can't stand it. But we as a country, we never punish him. He's not in jail because of Liberians. He's in jail because another country decided to prosecute him. So as far as the law on the book should be, you know what? The man didn't lose his job. He resigned from his job. And then what I'm also stressing is the fact that I think we keep thinking on the time that he was president and maybe not the time that he worked in other government agency. He did work for government before he worked at GSA, yeah. So
but at the time he worked, Salamartu, you forget. How did Charles Taylor even end up in America to begin with?
That's not our problem.
No.
But he got visa, he get visa.
You can't just look at one thing. I'm just saying, whether you agree with it or not, those government at the time actually wanted him extradited back to Liberia for whatever irregularities happened while he was at GSA.
Yeah, but he never got punished.
Controversy throughout. And all I'm saying is all of that needs to be weighed. All of that needs to be considered. How is Liberia going to be regarded? Is Liberia just going to ignore everything
Liberia will be, let me say this, Liberia will go by their laws on the book.
Okay.
If you don't want this guy getting the pension, you should have prosecuted him. That way you should have done. You should have punished him. If you accuse him of doing something, then you should have punished him. Accusing somebody of doing something and being convicted of doing something are two different things. You can go work for a corporation and somebody accused you of doing something. They never convicted you, but the people might not pay you a pension because you got bad blood. If we have a problem with this guy criminally, then you prosecute him. You put him on the record. We haven't done that. So because we haven't done it, then let the country pay. That one I do agree. You know how he got to Liberia, he went there with visa, he go there with visa, and he crawled there, and the American people in the airplane took him there. That's not our problem. When he got there, they gave him the job. They didn't even go back and say, you know what, you left some unfinished business. What happened?
One administration never really hands over to the other. There's no real continuity.
That's part of our problem.
It's always in silos. So yeah,
when you finish paying, we got senators in the legislature who are on video torturing a leader. No matter how you feel about it, what? Come on, he's gonna get pension. When he, I don't know how old he is now, but he's gonna be entitled to it.
So, but having said all of that, do you think it's going to happen?
Yeah, what happened? Yes, okay. It will happen.
That's more money, yo.
Yes, it will happen.
I'm sure he has a very good lawyer.
Yeah.
And we do have laws. And honestly, if the present government wants to start doing something right, that would be a good place to start from. Because it's not only him now. We've got two ex-presidents that are still alive. I'm very sure they are giving Madam Salif her pension. Very, very sure. They can try that.
Let somebody not give EJ as her pension.
I know, right?
Because 2023 is coming and you are a younger president. Whether you win or not, you will still be entitled to pension one day. If you want to set the record straight, you want to make sure that during your time as the head of the country, you did the right thing. So that you don't have the stories behind you. Obviously.
I agree. You're paying. You're paying. You ain't want paying. You want if we want redefine the term, then you prosecute him. When you prosecute him,
we can say and I agree in terms of what you stated. You know, if this country is not going to prosecute someone, if they don't have anything on the books here, and he stepped down, that's the case. But I will say that the international community has a huge amount of sway when it comes to these issues in Liberia. So we will see what actually happens.
The international community may not like Charles Taylor, but as much as they did not like him, he went through due process. They didn't just grab him and chunk him in. So they will respect our laws here. If we don't like the law, then we need to either change the law that states that if you are convicted of human rights or any crime in the world, then therefore will not give you your pension. So if it's not there,
that's not the case right now.
he's entitled to it as far as we're concerned. Chancellor was our president. Yeah, we have our opinions about his leadership style, his administration, but on the books, he's our president. So I really wanted to talk about the People's Liberation Party and the LTC, but we're kind of running out of time, so we'll leave that and we'll just get into the interview with you so we can learn a lot. Yeah, and what we want to do moving forward, the last Saturday of every month, we want to focus on women business owners.
Cool.
Women in business or women in leadership, where we get a woman who is doing business in Liberia, even in the Liberian diaspora community, or in leadership, and talk to her. Of course, we have other businesses during the month, but I think we're all on here. We're just very passionate about women business owners, women in leadership, and in general, our micro and small size businesses. And one of the things that surprisingly, what happened last week, didn't get the chance to come on. But what happened last week, I had a conversation with a consultant from one of the international organizations, and they have technical staff seated at the Ministry of Commerce, trying to help us. They provide these staff to our various ministries. And one of the places that they have their consultant station is at the Ministry of Commerce. The Ministry of Commerce has a small business administration. And the goal of the small business administration is to ensure that our micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises are strengthening, they're growing, they have the capacity, they have access to funding, all of that good stuff, access to market. That's what they were mandated to do. Now, I know there was an act that was created, I think 2016. Was not, I'm sorry, there was a policy that was written in 2016 for like 4 years. So a policy pretty much was to assist with what they're mandated to do to ensure that we have access to the funding. It defined who were micro and small businesses. And for those of you who are watching, Liberia Commerce describes a micro business as a company that has less than 4 employees. A small is a company that has between 5 to 20 employees. A medium-sized business is a company that has 21 to 40 to 50 employees. And then a large business is someone that has 51 plus employees. Majority of our MSMEs they're usually Liberian-owned businesses. So when we're saying MSMEs, we're usually talking about Liberian-owned businesses. And majority of the Liberian-owned businesses are owned by women. And what's been happening based on a lot of surveys, a lot of research, the women will start the business, start their business, running their business, very hardworking, but for some reason, they're not growing beyond the small stage. So of course, there's a lot of aid that's been given to the government to assist small businesses, MSMEs. Now, this conversation that I had with a consultant, they just wanted to know why the Small Business Administration was so dormant. And it was strange because I knew it was dormant. I remember when the recent deputy minister of SBA, the Small Business Administration, was appointed. I actually went there several times to meet her because I wanted them to restart the MSMB conference. It was so helpful to a lot of the small businesses. And this was under the previous administration. So they did it for like 4 years. Of course, being at the Chamber of Commerce, we're part of the planning process. But then, when the new administration came in, it just stopped. So I went there, just kind of wanting to talk to her, see where she's at, and seeing, I let her plan in and seeing how, I can help plan, help her plan. Went there several times, never got an opportunity to meet with her. She was never in the office, left my cards, wasn't there. Every time I went there, nobody was working. And I'm being very honest because it was sad to see, a busy office, just you have people just literally just sitting down reading paper, like they're in some kind of waiting room. And what they're waiting for, what they're waiting for, but they're actually employees of that agency and they can't answer any questions. So a conversation, to hear someone tell me that it seemed like the office was just storming, it led me, I'm like, God, are we really, are we serious about helping small businesses in Liberia? Or it's just a thing to say because it sounds great to our partners? And if we are, what exactly are we doing to help them? So we will, once in a while, we'll bring business owners who are actually doing business in Liberia, people who are doing business in the Liberian community, but specifically towards the end of the month, we will talk to business owners like Miss Veda Simpson. So before I even get into any questions, I will let Claudia just kind of read your bio. Claudia,
Oh, wow.
I really look on top of our small.
Okay.
So
I had no idea.
go ahead, Claudia.
Wow. Okay.
Claudia, you on mute though.
We're welcoming Miss Veda Ayele Nyoth Simpson, who's an agro entrepreneur with a professional background in communications and international development. She has more than 30 years of experience in government consulting and international development. She's the CEO of Quidiyou Incorporated, an agro-processing company based in Monrovia, Liberia. Ms. Simpson founded her company with a focus on retailing professionally packaged cashew nuts and all natural ginger beer to the local Liberian market. She created Quidiyou cashews and Gingeranana ginger beer. In 2019, she officially took on the role of managing company operations, including farm operations, marketing, sales, production, and distribution. She also provides strategic direction for the company. Ms. Simpson has developed her brand. Before she did her company, she was a program lead, and subsequently she became a national coordinator for the Liberia Angie Brooks International Center and the Women's Situation Room. The Women's Situation Room is a woman-led process for maintaining peace during volatile elections, and it has been replicated in 8 countries in Africa. As the program lead, Ms. Simpson played a key role in replication of the program in Ghana by working closely with international partners to draft project proposals, concept notes for the design of the activities, including the youth peer-to-peer process. Ms. Simpson collaborated with the Angie Brooks International Center to draft the project proposal and work closely with government entities and international partners to successfully implement this project under extremely tight deadlines. She has managed over 300 persons throughout the 15 counties within the program and volunteers in the physical situation rooms in Monrovia and Banga. Ms. Simpson represented the Angie Brooks Center and the Situation Room at meetings with Liberian government ministries and international partners. She served as an election observer in Ghana and in Liberia in 2016 and 2017, respectively. She is an active member of the Women on Board Network Liberia, the Liberia Chamber of Commerce, the Liberia Business Association, the Rotary Club of Monrovia, incoming secretary and board member. She's also a member of the Liberia Cancer Society, Smiles for Liberia Over Health Profit Organization, a member of Project Liberia Ebola, and Project Liberia Support founding member. So welcome people to this very wonderful, powerful woman
I said,
Wow.
with a technical in a lot of industry.
Wow. Plenty of things. I never really thought about it. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you so much. I never, yes, Salamartu.
Dala.
All right.
Let people know. So, you know,
Put
and
it all together like that. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mom.
yes,
Thank you.
your background, communications and international development, 30 years of experience in government consulting and international development. What exactly inspired you to start this business?
Wow. What actually inspired me to start the business was when I moved back to Liberia. I looked around and I realized that, you know, growing up, because both of my parents were in the medical field, most of my aunts, uncles, relatives, most of them were either in medical field or nonprofits or, you know, in the religious community, were always giving back. And I thought to myself, you know, but, you know, a lady of a certain age needs to have a certain kind of, you know, what I'm talking about in terms of legacy. And what I realized is that we had given business short shrift, right? Having my own daughter made me think about a lot of things. You know, I have two boys, and my last child is a young woman, little girl, and I moved back to Liberia to make an impact in the country, and working with Angie Brooks and the Women's Situation Room. Certainly, I think I've done a lot, but I really wanted to do something, make something tangible. I wanted to be able to leave a serious legacy. And I didn't see myself doing that in international affairs. Being in Liberia, the market is wide open. It's not like in America where everything is there. There's some company doing something, anything you want, there's something. I went into the supermarkets and I wanted juice, okay? And I couldn't understand why we as Liberians, as a tropical country, we're importing tropical juices. We import pineapple juice, we import orange juice, we import mango juice. And I'm thinking to myself, where are the juice companies? Where are the Liberian-based juice companies? 2015, 2016, there were none. There were none. All these juices are coming from, I don't know, Lebanon, Turkey, you know, of course, the United States. We have all kinds of juices. And then the other thing I realized is that a lot of Liberians don't understand what juice is. And so that's what started the idea with Gingeranana. The cashew business came from my mother, who decided to plant cashew trees while I was in the States. She retired, started again here when she moved back in 2007, 2008. And the trees were there, but we didn't really have a product. And when you want to do something, you just jump in and do it. You don't ask too many questions. You read up, you say, okay, you go this way. And what I found out about the cashew business is that even though 20 acres, 30 acres, 700 cashew trees is a lot, is nothing in the cashew business. I started going to cashew conferences, meeting up with the Nigerians, meeting up with the Ghanaians, the Togolese, people who had 2,000 acres of cashew trees. And I was like, wow, okay, so maybe we need to sort of regroup, pull back a bit, reassess. Business is not easy, but you can't just shut things down. You need to learn as you go along. And so I pivoted to the juice business. The recipe that I have now, that's Gingeranana, is a recipe that we had in our family that a cousin of mine used to do ginger beer. And I asked her, I was like, you know, would you mind if I use this recipe? I'm going to take out the sugar and put honey. She said, go ahead, because, you know, I'm going to nursing school. I was like, no problem. So Mima, thank you very much. She has her nursing degree now. Every now and then she pops in and she helps me out, but I will give her props because she's the one she taught me that how to really produce it. I just took out the sugar and put in honey.
Before you, so what you're talking about, we got an audience need for those people who may not know where your business is. You're speaking of one of the products that you do, right?
Yes, exactly. Ginger beer. Ginger beer.
So
the signature beverage, Quidiyou signature beverage is Gingeranana ginger beer. In Liberia, the Liberian ginger beer is typically non-alcoholic. Okay, so it's ginger. Our product is ginger, pineapple, honey, and spices. I don't like to tell people what they are because you don't want to give your recipe away. But in Liberia, especially in the 70s, this is something that we drank. 70s and the 80s, people used to drink ginger beer, but you could never find it in a supermarket. You always got to go talk to Ma Sarah or Cousin Jean or whoever, get her recipe, ask her to make you up a batch. But to say professionally packaged in a supermarket or in a convenience store, somewhere where you can just grab it off the shelf and go, we never had it in Liberia before, not before Gingeranana. So I just decided this is something that I'll do. I will focus on the juice business in general, but I'm starting out with ginger beer. I intend on expanding, but this is my focus. And like a laser, I'm focused on it. That's all I do right now. I promote it. Last week, I didn't mention, last week, I signed a contract with Mercy Corps. Quidiyou is one of 5 recipients of the small business grant from Mercy Corps. Shout out to Mercy Corps. And that's like a shot in the arm to the business. You know, you don't want to base your business on grants, but when you have an organization as large as Mercy Corps, basically validating what you do, not just in terms of the monies, but we're going to get technical assistance, business mentoring, because of course I didn't come from a business background. So there are a lot of exciting things happening at Quidiyou. But Gingeranana, we're really high on Gingeranana. So I know I went all over the place, but it's excited
about your product, which is good.
I'm really passionate about it. I really am. And it's I didn't realize what COVID was going to do for the business. You know, that's the exciting thing about business. You just don't know. And when everyone was like, COVID has hit us, our business is down, that's when Gingeranana just took off. It took off last year. Everybody wanted ginger. Everybody wanted ginger. They needed to fight COVID. So I called Gingeranana the COVID killer, you know, because it's not just ginger, it's ginger, pineapple, and honey. And what makes Gingeranana so different? We have a significant amount of ginger in it. It's not just a
Don't give us your recipe, because you know, to go home and make our own and say, you know what, you know us, then we'll go try it, man. Don't give your recipe. The ginger,
it got a kick. It got a kick, and I think that's why it's so popular here in Liberia. So it's at Royal, Harbel, Exclusive, Era, Monoprix Era and Monoprix just came online, and so we're moving. You know, Calabash, Terracotta. We are just bullish on Gingeranana. Eventually, we'll be exporting to the States, but as I like to say, I like to tell my people, let conquer Liberia first. Let land and make sure we're holding the ground and we can move forward. So it's moving.
Got it. Yeah.
So with Liberia, we know it's a lot about challenges. Yeah. Maybe you can share with us one of your very intriguing challenge, the good part and the funny part and the annoying part, and how you got through it.
Okay, so let me see. Is it?
Name one, because we know there are plenty of challenges.
So I will have to defer to the staffing challenge. I'll defer to the staffing challenge. You were talking about businesses and ramping up and getting people to work in your business. And the ginger beer making business is a tough business because we are basically all manual. You know, the Mercy Corps grant will enable us to get the ginger grinder, the ginger washer, and all this other equipment. But right now, it's basically a manual process. And I have a young woman who's been with me almost from the beginning. Serena was with me when we're doing the cashew business. Now we're doing the ginger business. She's doing the ginger business. And it's her and another young lady, the two of them, who are really my big production people. But I will share that in terms of bringing people online, it's been a little non-traditional because I relied on Serena, you know. And so about a year ago, we brought a young woman on board who I thought would be the third production person. And it was just, I don't know, it was very, very difficult. She would try to talk to me directly, and then Serena would feel like she was, you know, she was being insubordinate, and that's not the word she used. But bottom line, I had to let this person go and sort of defer to the person who had been with me from the beginning, which kind of tore me apart. And so, like I said, I've managed people before, but when you're working with I don't know what I don't want to say, well, sort of unlettered, and our Liberian way, coming from being in America for a long time, it took a while for me to really relearn and remember what it's like to be in the Liberian context, what it is to work with folks who are really not as as seasoned, or who haven't gone through a traditional process.
Really trying to find words for that.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's
It's like she's pulling, and you know what? It's good. When people like
my challenge, to be honest. Salamartu, that has been
people
my
like
challenge.
you talk about it. I'm hoping, I get a lot of questions from people here who want to do business in Liberia, want to partner with people in Liberia. And it's good to say, oh, the human capacity is a challenging thing, but to just hear why is a challenging thing. It's a sad thing. I mean, you were really struggling with the word. You wanted to
I always tell people, I said, in Liberia, everybody is somebody. Once you remember that, you can navigate wherever you go. I said, it is not a coincidence that many of us are we are princesses, we are queen, even dukes. It is not a coincidence. Everybody is somebody, and you cannot think that you're going to lord over somebody. I don't care how educated you are. You have to be able to connect with your staff. They have to be able to connect with you. Because I don't care how much money you pay with it. You disrespect them, they're gone. Liberian man got time. He got time. It is everything. Yeah. Saving face is everything. And when you get key people working with you who are really, and she's not the most polished, but she's a hard worker.
Yeah.
She is loyal. She knows what she's doing. She takes pride in her work, but she's not the most polished.
We get it. Yep. Oh, like Serena, though. I've interacted with her.
I do understand, trying to get information across can be really challenging.
It is.
You will say something and they will have their whole new interpretation of something you're not even thinking about, and trying to get them out of that thought that you did not even mean what you were saying is a whole story by itself. Yeah.
But if you pay them a living wage, and you're sincere in what you do, for the most part, you get the kind of production you need. And so moving forward, I'm hiring. Quidiyou is in a hiring mode. We're looking to hire. We're hiring.
How many more people are you looking to hire?
So we're getting another production person. We need 2 salespeople because we're about to divide Maserado up into territories. And so we, within the next 2 weeks or so, hopefully we'll have everything in place so we can move forward. The Christmas season is big for everybody, and it's going to be even bigger for us this year. So we want to be ready.
Nice. So we will just dive into some of the benefits of having small businesses.
Say that again.
Some of the benefits of
We
having
know something has been good.
Oh yeah. So one of the biggest yeah, no, I mean there are challenges, but the biggest benefit, of course, being able to craft your own path, to be able to come up with ideas and be able to see them to fruition, to be able to nurture people. Like I mentioned, this young woman who's been working with me, I've seen her growth, I've seen her progression. Not just in terms of the bottom line, because of course, a lot of what we make, we're just plowing it back into the business, but the pride and the to see that something that you created. I mean, when we started this business, we're using the water bottles, right? The recycle from the different water companies. Now we've graduated to our own containers, about last year in the middle of the pandemic. Talk about having people who will go the extra mile. The young man who's right now, he's telling me I need to decide whether he should be the strategic person or whether, he's going to focus on sales. But I won't call his name, but he went the extra mile last year in the middle of COVID, was able to go to Ivory Coast by road and follow up with my negotiations with the company I had negotiated with in terms of getting the bottles here and everything. And by the end of last year, we had our, the orange tops for the regular Gingeranana. We had the green tops for the not so spicy Gingeranana, the bottles and everything, and 10,000 bottles by road from Ivory Coast. We couldn't ship from China. So that was last year. So it was very, very interesting. I have some connects in Abidjan that helped out. I have tight connects that helped out with the bottling, getting the bottles here. I ordered a ginger grinder from Ivory Coast that I thought was going to change my life. After spending so much money, it never worked. Yeah. So those are some of the challenges. But we keep moving forward, and you always learn. From any small setback or mistake. You always learn. Okay, so we're going to do it this way.
What about preservation and electricity? Because I know that is one of the major problems when you're dealing with food in Liberia.
Oh my gosh, it's huge. It's huge. I don't want to tell my secret in terms of what I do to make sure that the ginger doesn't go bad after a day or two. Gingeranana will last 6 weeks in a refrigerator. It doesn't even have to be in the freezer. Before I deliver it to my clients, I make sure it's like frozen. So when we deliver Gingeranana, typically it has the ice dripping off of it. So what we do is, usually LEC is here at night. Tonight, we don't have LEC, that the generator running. But typically, I will turn the freezer on overnight. It will freeze overnight. And even if we don't have electricity in the day, they're going to stay frozen until the next night. And 6 weeks is the shelf life right now. I'm about to take a course. Oh, networking is also important. I want to give a shout out to Mahmoud Johnson. I connected with him a couple of months ago, and he put me in contact with an organization in Uganda that I'm going to do an online juice training with, because you have to stay on top of your game. So right now, the shelf life for Gingeranana is 6 weeks. We're trying to get it from 6 weeks to 6 months because, of course, we need that longevity. So I'm going to learn a lot about that and some other things in that course. I plan on taking another course later on in the year, hopefully in Ghana. So I'm really vested. I'm really investing in my knowledge, in what I learn about. I'm learning something new about the juice business every month. In terms of that. So to answer your question, there's a certain process that we do that where Gingeranana will last 6 weeks. We have tamper-proof tops. So once the tops go on, it's airtight. That helps a lot in terms of extending the shelf life of the product. There's one other thing we do that I can't say. I can tell you offline, but I'm not going to say online here. But I think that's what keeps us ahead of the competition. There's another company out there that does ginger, but I know from the grapevine that they are having serious challenges with preservation, and I think I know what they're not doing, but I don't want to.
Yeah,
Say
I
that.
always,
Don't
I
fail.
always admire. There are a few things that I like from Ghana that I practically used to just fill my suitcase with when I'm going back to Liberia. One was the sky juice, the sky ginger juice.
Mm.
Oh my God. I would leave my clothes behind and fill my suitcase with a
Wow.
heavy bottle and take
What?
it. And at that time, I remember they had the shelf life of 7 days. But that ginger juice, that ginger pineapple, it was so good. I can't go to Ghana without drinking it. So I do understand.
Come.
that
Gingeranana with
Yeah.
would take the place of sky juice, man.
Especially
Yeah.
when you
I
mix the
understand the
Gingeranana
struggle.
with the Johnson Paul rum.
Yeah, I understand the struggle when
And
it comes to
And I'm so glad you brought that up in terms of collaboration, because I would mention it because, you got to speak it into being. I had a meeting with the Prosecco Love Liberia people, and anybody who's been following Gingeranana knows that I've been pushing Gingeranana mimosas lately.
Oh,
yes.
oh,
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
You have not lived until you have had a Gingeranana mimosa. It is, I mean, you don't have to get all the different, you just get your sparkling wine and you add Gingeranana. It tastes. So I've spoken to the folks this Wednesday for our Royal Wednesday, and for people who don't follow us, every Wednesday we do a little minute thing on Instagram at I am Quidiyou on Instagram on Wednesdays. We call it Royal Wednesdays, where we invite people to come to the lobby of the Royal Grand. You can sip Gingeranana, you can taste it, and then of course at Royal they sell it. But we're going to be doing Gingeranana with Prosecco Loves Liberia on Wednesday, and if things work out, we're gonna schedule another event. So yeah, collabs are probably gonna be, coming down the pipe, and that's gonna be the first one. But
how did you
telling
get
you,
the
Claudia,
name?
you need to have it. If I wish I could
No,
find a way to
I've
get
had
some to you.
Gingeranana a lot of times because I
Okay.
I like ginger and I love pineapple. So even though I got ginger in my fridge.
Yeah,
So
it's
as soon as I saw it, they used to have another one before you came called Good Juju. In Liberia, yes.
Good Juju? Oh,
yes.
okay.
There was another ginger drink, but it was freshly made. It used to be sold in at the place up Mama Point.
Oh, okay.
A couple of years before.
Yeah, but even some of the ingredients we use are natural preservatives. So besides the other process, some of the ingredients that I use in Gingeranana are natural preservative. And what is also really nice about Gingeranana, because it has the ginger, the pineapple, the honey. Ginger, pineapple, honey are all medicinal.
Yes.
They don't just taste good, they're literally good for you. Literally. My mother is an asthmatic. If something happens where she's having a crisis or whatever, I give her Gingeranana. She takes a puff of what she needs to puff, or if she gets on the nebulizer, she takes that Gingeranana. It calms her down. It literally, I don't know if it's the ginger or the pineapple, which one, but ginger, pineapple. And if you have a cold, like your throat is hoarse or whatever, of course the honey soothes you. But I tell people to drink ginger also after a workout. When you work out, you exercise. It does
natural. Have a lot of. I mean, it's a root. It is a medicinal root. It does have a lot of, medicinal properties. Yeah, I do take it because of my sinuses and my allergies. So
it reduces inflammation in the muscles.
But the name Quidiyou, where did it come from? What is it? What is it?
So this is why my cousin's been fussing with me. My grandmother's name was Alma Quidiyou Carter. My grandmother was from Plebo, Maryland County.
Ah,
And I named, yo, claim it. I claim Maryland. I claim Plebo, Jinitabo, that all our area there. But I spelled it with Quii, Quidiyou, because I just thought it looked better than Qua. Well, I didn't know her name was spelled Qua. I never saw her name, the Quidiyou. They were always, and they Alma, sis Alma, nobody really called her the Quidiyou, but I always liked the name Quidiyou. So I finished incorporating the business and everything. And my cousin said, but why are you misspelling my grandma? Why are you misspelling my grandma's name? It's not Qui, it's Qua. I said, Namao. Yeah, sorrow. So yeah, that was my intent to honor my late grandmother, Alma Quidiyou Carter. Yeah.
nice name.
Well, you spoke a lot about Gingeranana. There was a question in here from Charlene. You know her internet is not working because of the
no comment.
her internet is not working, so she got typing and stuff.
All right, Charlene.
Charlene says she's very proud of you, Veda. Are you working on any other juices?
Yes. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you for putting that out there. The very next juice that we're going to introduce, hopefully we do it before the end of the year, is ginger. Yeah, it's ginger lemon. I've gotten many requests for ginger lemon because there are some people who are allergic to pineapple.
Yes.
So, there are a lot of people who can't do pineapple at all. So we're looking to, once we get into the new space and everything, we'll have to figure out a way to do that because of course you're talking about food and allergies and all of that. But yeah, we're looking at ginger lemon. The other thing I really wanted to do, and I don't want to mention it because somebody may jump on it.
Don't do it.
All right. Okay. There's another fruit that used to be so plentiful in this Liberia, but now you can't find it. So well, I'll say it. If people, they're not going to be able to do it the way I do it anyway. So I'm confident.
I love
that. Ginger guava. I really want ginger guava. When I used to be a tomboy, small. I used to climb the guava tree. We used to eat green guava, put salt, pepper on it. I love guava, but it's like since the war, you don't see guava trees the way they used to be. They used to be plentiful around. So I know that the Wilds Farm up in Bong, they were doing guavas. So I need to just double check on that. If I can get enough consistently, we will do that because I think it's really a nice blend. It's a refreshing blend. But we're gonna expand and then eventually maybe just pineapple juice because I see that in the supermarket and it's a good mixer. People drink it just, some people just like it by itself, but we are going to expand the juice offerings. Definitely.
Well, you, of course, you do business. We know about Gingeranana. I'm glad that Gingeranana is becoming like a household name. So I love the fact that, how you're branding the ginger juice as we knew it to be. Gingeranana, specially made, got all of that stuff in. So businesswoman, we like. The other thing that, that I stated before is that, you're very much involved in women in leadership as well. The Women on Boards Network, that's been a great journey that I've had with you. Seeing you as well on the executive council of the Liberia Chamber of Commerce. I don't know, people don't understand that Chamber of Commerce executive council had no women. None.
I know.
Now she's one of 2 women who are on there. Small, we get in there. And of course, several other advocacy we've done. You're very, passionate about that. Being a woman, I know you don't like the word female, being a woman entrepreneur.
Thank you. Thank you. You remember that? Oh my goodness, yes. You remember that?
Being a woman entrepreneur in Liberia can get very lonely. of being a woman in a leadership position can get extremely lonely. What do you think needs to happen to, I guess, to help with it? What do we need to do as women, business owners, or women in leadership, where we find ourselves maybe within a space by ourselves?
We need to bring on other women. We literally
have
need
some women now. It look, yeah, because
Yeah.
when they get inside that room, they didn't want to open the door for nobody.
If you want more women, if we want more women, we really, really, and I will say I blame, I mean, I'm just getting on that executive council, and I tell you, it can be intimidating. I will not shrug. Just, you know, it's just me and one other woman, and you want to say certain things because, you know, but the men are just used to doing things a certain way, and I have pulled back. I need, now that I'm back in country, I'm going to sort of jump back in there and see what I can do. But it's a little frustrating because, like, on the executive council, like, for example, we got approached by Liberia, the pageant, the Liberia, Miss Liberia, you know, for the chamber to assist, for the chamber to participate. And it's not that I don't want to help them, and I am going to, but I was a little miffed that it was automatically assumed that the two women on the council would be the ones. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like, they didn't even, yeah, it was like, okay, they would do it. You know, because of course none of the men won't be involved. Even though it's a man who is running, the pageant right now is being run by a gentleman, but they didn't want to have anything to do with that, or that woman thing. You know, those kinds of things are kind of frustrating. And then they just fill the space. So you're not only are you new, you're a woman, but then you're new to it. So then you're still trying to learn the ropes and understand what's going on, because you don't want to, you know, you want to learn things first before saying this or putting your foot forward or whatever. But it helps that you have some men on the council who are pushing for women, he for she who are on the council who are saying, look, we need to make that room, we need to make that space, because women's voices, you know, really expand the opportunities, and you just look at things differently. So I will say that, but I will mention the reason I say we need to bring, wherever you are, you need to work to try and bring more women. We have two, so maybe we can try to bring two more. We'll see what happens. Maybe each one bring one. But I wanted to mention about people who are in spaces where they're the only, and I know he's not a woman, but I want to mention it because I read that either yesterday or today. This Hamilton, the guy from the racing world, the only Black guy who's been at the top of the racing world. They asked him about that, and he was like, you know, when I came into this business, I was the only one at the top. 10, 15 years later, I'm still the only one. So he's formed his own nonprofit to mentor young Black men and women to come into racing. That's how he's addressing the, you know, because you can't just sit around and wait for somebody else to do it. So I know me and my big mouth. So now that I've said it, that means I really have to do something about it. But yeah, that's my answer to that question.
You know what? Let me kind of throw it in there. Well, you are doing something about it because you're part of the Women on Boards Network. And the Women on Boards Network, what we do, we identify, we train women to serve in these positions. So if you go to www.wobnl.org, you will see a list of qualified women who are prepared to lead and to serve. I had to put that there.
Okay, so, nice plug. Nice plug, Salamartu.
Yeah, really so you are doing that, you know, and I think one of the final question that I wanted to ask you was that, you know, your advice to someone who is entering that space, just a new entrepreneur who's trying to do business, especially in Liberia, and most especially a young woman who may want to do business. What would be your advice to them?
My advice is that you do a business that you're passionate about and that you know a lot about. That's the very first thing, if you're interested. do your research, be undaunted, okay? And just stay focused. Oh, and also plan. Put your plans together, follow your plans. Yeah, follow your plans. But you know, just stick to it. It's been we 2021 now. What I realized being in business is not that you got to be, you know, so strong all the time and just killing it all the time. You just need to consistently be there. Like, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago, they're like, oh, she started this thing. Is she just doing it? Is it just a side hustle just for the next month or two? You know, so 2 years now, people are like, unless she's serious, or okay, let's take another look and see. You just be there. Just literally be there. And things will happen if you're committed. Yeah.
All right. So we're sort of kind of running out of time, and there's some other technical issues that's going on. But before we run out of time, just quickly, how can someone get in touch with you besides going to Made in Liberia shop? Made in Liberia Made in Liberia shop. Made in Liberia shop. Besides going there, how can they get in touch with you?
So the best way is to inbox me on Instagram. I am Quidiyou, Quidiyou. I am Quidiyou. The phone number is 0778-885-667. Okay, the website, we're revamping the website right now. But I'm on Facebook, my Quidiyou. And my email, veda.simpson@quidiyou.com. QUIDIYOU.
Yay! Well, thanks so much, Veda, for taking the time. And oh my God, Lone Star, you are the star of today. Yeah, you are the star of today. But thanks so much. And I mean, I am super, super proud of you. Again, you one of the Made in Liberia Fair Day 1. There are certain day 1 people who, you know, they're always out there rain or shine. Even if there's one person coming by, they're there, anything. Yeah. And I have seen how, you know, like even your presentation from the first time you started to getting like branding, the banners, the table, the way that your stuff is actually set up. I've seen how it's changed. So then, you know, I would know one day, I would say, you know what, I know a millionaire, a billionaire.
Golly, oh, I am so glad you said that. I just want to end with this.
Yeah, it is.
Something that just inspired me. I was just going through, you know, just in terms of course, I'm going to be entering the American market. So hear me, checking out the American. It will be through the diaspora, of course, but still, I stumbled across this drink. I'm not going to call it because they're my competition, so I'm not going to get in free press. This drink. Young Caucasian man started making ginger beer in his kitchen. Salamartu. The man would raise $900,000 in seed money. Do you know the company is on the New York Stock Exchange, is now a $10.5 million company?
You know what? Ginger. Let me tell you something.
Ginger.
We talked about this with, you know, I was talking to one of my board members from Stepway Liberia, which is supposed to be the women's organization helping business women. And we're talking about things to do. And one of the things that I suggested was something like that, like a crowdfunding. When people die in our community, we quick to put money together. I don't understand why we can't put money together to say, you know what, for 1 year we'll support 3 businesses. We will raise the money online. You can see the money being raised online. And let me tell you right now, when we're doing it, it will always be 20% for administrative costs. So you won't kill us like your business. Yeah. But we're making the calls, when we're filling out the forms, when we're doing, that work. But for us to get online and do the same crowdfunding for our own, I don't understand why is it that we don't want to give each other money. But nevertheless, that's neither here or there. we'll be talking about.
But it just lets you know where people are in terms of business. These people in a heartbeat will think about an IPO. Veda Coco, coconut water is an IPO on the New York, launch IPO on the, you laughing?
Gingeranana for Liberia will be there, man. It will be there.
Yeah.
Your lips to God's ears. All right. So before we go, once again, thank you so much. Thank you everybody for watching. Please, you can follow us on Salamartu and Friends. We're on Facebook. We're also the website salamartu.com. But we're on Sunday.
I know that they have some ginger in our pepper soup there from Calypso.
I think she put it inside. We'll play the song. Yeah, she put some inside the ginger pepper soup. But we're here every Sunday at 8 p.m. Monrovia time.
I'm now at 8 p.m. So
y'all on the time in London. We know what's going on. Y'all just change.
No, we got what I'm sure. But on the same time.
We went back 1 hour. We went back 1 hour last night. Daylight saving.
Yeah. So yeah, we 8 o'clock in Liberia in London, and then of course 4 p.m. on the East Coast. And if you know it's 4 p.m. on the East Coast, wherever you are in America, you can go ahead and look at you can figure it out. Yeah, we're gonna be going specific in Mountain Time. Yeah, it's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Washington D.C., Maryland, right? So I want to tell everybody thank you, and don't forget to follow Gingeranana. It's Quidiyou.
I am Quidiyou.
I am Quidiyou at I am Quidiyou. That's Quidiyou. I put it
Quidiyou. Quiddy, like a quiddy.
The thing there, but I'm reading it. So it's on the chat. Go there, look at it. Of course, you can always go to madeinliberia.shop. So all of that, we love to promote Liberian made products. I am a freaking champion of Liberian made products, especially someone who is working hard to improve and grow their business. Not the one who just doing it for the show. So thank you so much. That name we'll talk about it one day. But thank you so much. I know next week we're gonna have Liberian artist on Sweets. I can't wait to have her on. Her voice. So yeah, we'll have her on, and then we have several other guests throughout the month of November. It's going to be a fun month.
And we have some very hot social topics.
Oh yeah. And in addition, so we were pressured by Rabina to do a special edition on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. I guess it will be about the same time, but that will be focused strictly on a social issue. So she will make a drink. She will do a recipe of a drink. And Thanksgiving is also coming up. Liberia is celebrating Thanksgiving on the 4th, which is the first Thursday of November, as well as the US is celebrating their Thanksgiving, which is the last Thursday of the month. And we usually talk about America and Liberia. We need to find out about our Liberian diaspora in the UK as well as Canada.
Yeah.
You know what? It says
they have a slave origin. They don't do it here.
Oh yeah, don't do it?
No.
Y'all don't be thankful?
No, they don't do Thanksgiving here.
Since I won't be on, I will send some Prosecco and Gingeranana to Charlene. Charlene better be on with you. Because
that nothing, man. Yeah, no, I hate him.
No, because Gingeranana Prosecco, that Prosecco loves a perfect drink for Thanksgiving. No, Thanksgiving is Thursday. So I will send it to her. I will tell her, please be mixing that one, because Wednesday is when we launching in month. You will see when you come, wherever that is. So you get it too comfortable in America there.
Yeah, and like can just be on, man.
And that's the funny thing, one day I came home and I was in the shower and I stood so long in the shower and it just hit me. I was like, tell me.
The light on, some of the things driving on the wrong side of the road. I miss my little chaos though. I'm not gonna lie.
It's really warm. Heat. I was at Libasa yesterday. It is.
Don't worry, I got me soon.
We got heat here, man. Heat inside
my skin is no more ashy skin. The skin is supple, man. They're 100% humidity. Our bodies were not meant for that hemisphere. I keep telling you, it was meant to be on this side.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I can't do the heat anymore. You know, I can't do the heat anymore.
Amazing. Yeah?
Oh, excuse us. Excuse me.
Yes. You see me with my
Wow.
scarf on. Let me put my scarf on. But
Nah,
before
Yeah,
we
but we're
go,
getting to summer now, so it's a good time.
but let me. Okay, so
Don't worry,
Wednesday, same time
you see me sipping my ginger
in
with
Liberian.
coconut
Yeah,
water,
yeah.
coconut.
Amen.
So,
Amen. Sending
on
her
the
some.
beach.
Sending you some. Clara, you coming?
Yeah.
You coming for Christmas?
Yeah, she's a
No,
December.
I'm
She's
not.
a
I'm not a
December.
Decemberer.
Huh?
I'm not a Decemberer.
You're a December.
I'm
How
not a
about November?
Decemberer.
When
No.
you come in?
We gotta put a British accent inside now. We don't say Decemberans. We say December.
Oh God.
Nope,
All right,
I will be there before then. Not for
Okay.
Christmas. Yeah.
Good.
To
Good.
get to run out.
You would get your
I
ginger.
get Christmas for nobody.
That my Christmas, so
Yeah.
you would get your ginger. Nana, you're welcome with present.
I got Christmas for nobody. Nobody. I don't want nobody to ask me what they prefer.
You right. You
I will slip
absolutely
in
right.
when I'm ready.
Yeah, man. So Wednesday, y'all can join us. We'll be drinking cocktails and talking nonsense. On Wednesday, we'll put out the social topic. It's gonna be hot. So come on, get a sip. The next day, we know it's a holiday in Liberia. So,
Yeah.
take a
You can
break.
stay up late.
And then on Friday, this concept was strictly copied from the US, where after Thanksgiving, the Friday after Thanksgiving, it's like the biggest shopping day, and it's been picked up by a lot of countries all over the world. It's called Black Friday. That's after the US Thanksgiving towards the end of the month. And then that following Monday is Cyber Monday. It's the biggest sales promotion online. So decided to do Blue Friday after the Liberian Thanksgiving. So that Friday, November 5th, we're actually doing it online. So it will be a mixture of both. Blue Friday, we want Liberian products, people who are selling Liberian products, whether you're in Liberia, in the diaspora, let us know. You got about 10 minutes to showcase your products. And let me tell you, the last time I did an online fair, there was a couple of people who actually sent me a message and said they made some money. And that was a trial period. Yeah. That was a trial thing. So, look out for the flyer, but it will be online. I don't know if the time is on there. I'm not looking at it, so I don't even know. But it's this Friday, November 5th, same channel. Veda, I think you already signed up.
I did.
Yeah. So she will be on there talking about her products. If you're in the US, we'll try to figure out how to get it to wherever. But I'm saying, if you know somebody, let them come in, showcase your product. Let's promote Liberian products. The thing that my goal this year is we're doing gift baskets with Liberian made products. There's no reason why we cannot give Liberian gifts, made in Liberia gifts to each other. So yeah, that what we own here this year.
Yeah, that should be mandatory.
My dear.
Yeah. I remember years ago when you ask Ghanaians for gift, the only thing they will give you is the chocolate with a container wrap.
Yeah.
So
we have to be proud of our own stuff. Even
and not
if
only am I doing that,
not where we want it to be, we have to start appreciating it. That's
exactly. And I'm meeting Black Americans too. So, I'm all for the made in Liberia, Liberians who are doing their business in the diaspora, whether it's the UK, whether it's Canada. I keep throwing Canada in there because of Leo, whether it's the US, but we know Liberians are excelling everywhere. So y'all showcase your products. We'll do it this year. Next year we'll do it. Blah, blah, blah. So with that said, before we go, Veda, we got a little surprise. We just started this. We'll ask you, checking the chat group. You coming getting hot seat. We'll ask you 5 fun questions.
Uh-oh.
I was
wow.
number 2,
fun
number 3,
for
number 4.
Fun
for you.
Me?
Yeah, it's fun questions. You have less than 5 seconds to answer these questions as we ask it, okay?
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Ready? It's fast now. It's like fast money on Family Feud.
All right.
Okay. What was your childhood nickname?
Vivi. It was Vivi.
Claudia?
What's on your bed stand?
What?
What in near your bed?
Dresser?
What in your bed?
Oh, yeah, bed, what next to your bed?
Lamp? What? Lamp, dresser,
Sneakers, sneakers or heels?
heels,
Wigs or braids?
braids.
Okay, and finally, when you need advice, who's the first person you call besides God?
My mother.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't that difficult. That's difficult. All right, guys.
All
So
right.
we're out of time. Claudia needs to go to bed too. Oh, the both of them.
Yeah,
Let's-
need to go to bed.
All
Thank
right,
you,
guys.
ladies.
But
Thank you. This
so
was
much.
Great fun.
And
Thank
what
you.
happened? Oh, what the music? I wanted you to play the music so you can hear this song here.
Yeah.
Ain't
I
I,
remember
yeah?
this song. I remember this song. Shoot.
That's some memories there.
Who cooked for the woman here that she went and started singing made whole song
That's some
about
memories there.
Yo. Calypso Rose.
That
And
memory
because,
find her.
and because of her, a lot of Trinidadians found out about Liberia. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I hope
think we have
part of
visa
that
free
is
to
showcased
Trinidad
in,
too.
huh?
I think we're visa free to Trinidad.
Oh, yeah, that one, yeah. That one ain't like Liberia can get out about passport and stuff.
Liberia passport visa free to Trinidad. I think.
Okay.
What,
and the
isn't
Bahamas.
it Barbados? Where Barbados?
Oh,
said
that
you black, you
Barbados.
can come?
Barbados.
Barbados, yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
Barbados. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
The Padmores, the Weeks, that's what the Wilds, the people came from Barbados.
The
So they can just
Blackheads.
show up. Yeah,
The Blackheads.
that's right. There you go. There you go. Bajan.
Oh, hey, giving people
Baby
hard time for
Liberia.
passport business.
I see.
All right, ladies.
Okay. Oh.
Good night.